The southernmost point of Africa is where the warm Indian Ocean meets the cold Atlantic, creating climatic patterns that impact inland regions. This convergence shapes diverse landscapes, from areas with regular rainfall to arid zones receiving minimal precipitation. Despite these harsh conditions, life flourishes in the wild south, with towering dunes, ancient riverbeds, and salt pans adding to its rugged beauty. Both people and wildlife have adapted to survive in this challenging environment. The power of the oceans, where the Indian and Atlantic meet. At Africa's southernmost point, the warm waters of the Indian Ocean merge with the cold, nutrient-rich Atlantic, shaping weather patterns, ecosystems, and wildlife. The Benguela Current, a cold flow from the Southern Ocean, brings nutrients to the coasts of Namibia and South Africa, supporting a rich marine ecosystem teeming with life, from whales to seals and seabirds. This same current cools the Atlantic air, preventing rain clouds from forming, leaving the Namib Desert as one of the driest places on Earth. However, to the east, the warm Indian Ocean brings moisture and rain to areas like Mozambique and South Africa's eastern coast, creating lush, green environments in contrast to the Namib Desert. The enchanting deserts of southern Africa. In the southern reaches of Africa lie two extraordinary desert landscapes, the Namib and the Kalahari. These vast, arid regions are not only among the oldest on Earth, but also some of the most fascinating. The Namib Desert, which hugs the Atlantic coast for over 2,000 kilometers, holds the distinction of being the world's oldest desert, existing for more than 55 million years. Its ancient presence predates many of the world's major mountain ranges and ecosystems, standing as a testament to time's enduring force. The Namib is best known for its breathtaking red dunes, some of the tallest found anywhere. These striking formations, which owe their fiery color to iron oxide in the sand, create an otherworldly landscape. Sossusvlei, a famous salt and clay pan encircled by these towering dunes, is one of the most photographed locations in Africa. Despite its scorching heat and severe lack of water, the Namib is an ecosystem constantly in flux. The sands are in perpetual motion, and ancient riverbeds buried beneath the surface tell the story of a once wetter landscape. The Kalahari, by contrast, is a semi-arid, sandy savanna that stretches across Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. Although not a desert in the strictest sense, as it receives more rainfall than the Namib, the Kalahari presents its own challenges. Seasonal rains bring life to this vast region, supporting a surprising diversity of plant species and wildlife. While it may not be as dry as its neighbor, the Kalahari's harsh environment is no less remarkable in its ability to sustain life in such an unforgiving landscape. Survival in the Namib, nature's ultimate test. Despite the extreme conditions, the cold Benguela Current plays a crucial role by producing thick morning fog that drifts inland. This fog serves as the main source of water for the desert's flora and fauna, offering the vital moisture needed to sustain life in an otherwise parched environment. Among the incredible survivors of the Namib is the desert elephant. Unlike their larger savanna counterparts, these elephants have adapted to the harsh desert climate by becoming smaller and more mobile. They constantly roam vast distances, traversing rugged terrain in search of scarce water and food. In an extraordinary display of resilience, these elephants dig into ancient riverbeds to uncover hidden reserves of water, demonstrating their incredible ability to thrive in such a harsh environment. Water is the ultimate currency of survival in the Namib, and creatures here have evolved ingenious strategies to secure it. Another desert resident, the oryx, has mastered the art of surviving without frequent access to water. This striking antelope can go for extended periods without drinking, relying on the moisture found in the plants it eats. Equipped with a natural cooling mechanism, the oryx can regulate its body temperature, allowing it to endure the scorching heat of the desert while conserving water. In the Namib Desert, every creature, no matter how large or small, must adapt or perish. Their survival strategies are a testament to nature's remarkable ability to endure even in the harshest of environments. The Kalahari Desert, a dynamic and thriving habitat. The Kalahari Desert is more than just an arid wasteland. It's a complex ecosystem that thrives on seasonal rains. This alternating cycle of arid stretches and fertile bursts creates an environment where life exists in a delicate balance. One of the most well-known creatures of the Kalahari is the meerkat. These social animals live in large colonies, relying on strong cooperation and teamwork for survival. Each day, as the sun rises, meerkats emerge from their burrows to soak up the warmth, recovering from the chilly desert nights. Their communal way of life is key to their success in this often harsh environment. Meerkats are expert foragers, using their sharp claws and heightened sense of smell to dig through the sand in search of insects, worms, and other small creatures hidden beneath the surface. Their survival depends on an efficient division of labor within the colony. While most meerkats are busy searching for food, one or more stand sentry, keeping an eye out for predators like jackals or birds of prey. Birds such as the fork-tailed drongo and the crimson-breasted shrike have learned to follow meerkat colonies, waiting for their frenetic digging to unearth insects. This symbiotic relationship benefits both the meerkats and the birds, with the latter feeding on the insects that the meerkats uncover without directly competing for food. The Kalahari may not have the extreme dryness of the Namib, but its ecosystem is just as impressive. The Kalahari is a vibrant example of how life can flourish, even in some of the most challenging environments on Earth. The giants of the desert. Elephants, giraffes, and their struggle for the giants of the desert. Elephants and giraffes facing the odds. Walking through an endless desert, where finding food and water seems like an impossible challenge. Yet, Some of the world's most majestic giants, elephants and giraffes, do just that every day. These incredible animals have developed amazing adaptations to survive in environments that would leave most creatures struggling. Take the desert elephants, for example. They're a bit different from their savanna cousins. These desert-dwelling elephants are smaller and lighter, which helps them conserve energy as they roam vast distances in search of food and water. And when water seems impossible to find, they've mastered the art of digging into dry riverbeds to reach hidden groundwater. Giraffes, too, face the challenge of surviving in the dry, barren landscapes of southern Africa. These tall, graceful creatures wandering across the desert, constantly searching for vegetation to keep them going. They can survive on the moisture in the leaves they eat, but water holes are still crucial. When they find one, they drink with caution, always aware that predators like lions and hyenas could be lurking nearby. These journeys for survival, often spanning days and countless miles, highlight the resilience of these giants. Whether it's elephants digging for water or giraffes browsing on scarce leaves, these animals have found a way to make a life in some of the toughest conditions on Earth. Skeleton Coast, life on the edge of survival. The Skeleton Coast of Namibia might sound like the end of the world, and in many ways, it looks the part. Shipwrecks, barren sands, and an unforgiving coastline. The cold Benguela current that runs along the coast is a lifeline, bringing in nutrient-rich waters that support a surprisingly vibrant ecosystem. One of the stars of this coastline? The Cape Fur seals. Thousands upon thousands of them call this rugged shore home. Seal pups are especially vulnerable, with predators like jackals constantly on the prowl, waiting for an opportunity. It's a tough existence, but somehow, these colonies manage to not only survive, but thrive in this desolate landscape. And let's not forget the African penguin. Yes, you heard that right. Penguins, more commonly associated with the icy Antarctic, have adapted to life here on the Skeleton Coast. While they're incredibly agile in the water, these flightless birds face numerous challenges on land. Despite all these dangers, both seals and penguins have managed to carve out a life on this windswept shore, proving that even in the harshest conditions, nature finds a way. The unique flora of southern Africa, survivors of the desert. These plants have developed extraordinary strategies to survive the region's harsh conditions, and none is more fascinating than the Welwitschia mirabilis. This ancient plant, which grows only in the Namib Desert, might not look like much at first glance, but it's a true survivor. With only 2 leaves that grow continuously over its lifetime, the Welwitschia can live for more than 2,500 years. That's right, 2,500 years. These leaves twist and spread out across the desert floor, gathering moisture from the morning fog and drawing water from deep underground. It's a plant that has truly mastered the art of living with almost no water. Another icon of the desert is the quiver tree. This tall, striking aloe plant can store water in its thick trunk and leaves, allowing it to endure long droughts. The indigenous people even used its hollow branches to make quivers for their arrows, giving the tree its name. Water, the lifeblood of the savanna. Now, while deserts like the Namib and Kalahari dominate much of southern Africa, there's another side to this incredible region: the lush, vibrant savannas. Here, water is the key to life. Rivers, lakes, and wetlands are vital, supporting a wide variety of species from massive herbivores like elephants and buffalo to smaller creatures like birds and insects. Bird life in the savanna is especially diverse. One of the most recognizable sights is the African fish eagle, with its unmistakable call echoing across the rivers. These majestic birds hunt fish with incredible precision, swooping down to snatch their prey from the water. Other birds, like the yellow-billed stork and the African jacana, have their own unique hunting methods. The stork wades through shallow waters, using its long legs to stir up fish and other small creatures, while the jacana, with its oversized feet, seems to walk on water as it searches for insects. Each species has carved out its niche, making the most of the water that sustains them. Predators of the savanna, masters of speed, strength, and strategy. The predators of Africa's savannas are some of the most formidable hunters on the planet, using a mix of speed, power, and cunning to secure their next meal. Cheetahs, famous for their incredible speed, are the fastest land animals, reaching up to 100 kilometers per hour. These sleek cats rely on short bursts of speed to catch prey, such as gazelles. However, they must close in on their target quickly, as they can only maintain their top speed for a few seconds. In contrast, African wild dogs use endurance and teamwork to hunt. Living in packs, these social animals track their prey over long distances, exhausting their target through relentless pursuit. With a success rate of around 80%, wild dogs are among Africa's most effective hunters, as their cooperative hunting tactics often overwhelm their prey. The nightlife of the savanna, creatures of the dark. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savanna transforms into an entirely different world. The heat of the day gives way to cool nights, and that's when a whole new cast of animals comes alive. Creatures that have been hiding from the scorching sun step out to take advantage of the cover of darkness. One of the most fascinating of these nighttime wanderers is the black rhino. With its poor eyesight, this mighty animal relies heavily on its keen sense of smell to guide its way through the dark. It may be powerful and strong, but the black rhino is cautious by nature, always avoiding unnecessary conflict. And of course, there's the king of the savanna, the lion. While they may seem to nap the day away, lions come alive under the stars. Their excellent night vision gives them the upper hand, making them highly skilled hunters after dark. Prey animals, like zebras and antelope that are more alert during the day, find themselves in a much more vulnerable position at night when these powerful predators are on the move. The fragility of southern Africa's ecosystems. The human impact. Southern Africa is home to some of the world's most resilient creatures. But even these incredible ecosystems have their limits. Elephants, for example, once roamed the continent in the millions. Now, due to the illegal ivory trade and loss of habitat, only about 450,000 remain. Lions, too, are facing a tough battle. Just 15 years ago, there were 35,000 lions in Africa. Today, that number has fallen to 20,000 as their territories shrink, and they are confined to reserves. Even the African penguins, which once thrived along the coastlines of southern Africa, are in crisis. Overfishing has depleted their primary food source, sardines, leading to a rapid decline in their population. The resilient spirit of the Wild South. Southern Africa is a place of immense beauty and contrast, where life finds a way to flourish in even the harshest conditions. From the towering red dunes of the Namib Desert to the lush wetlands of the savanna, this region is home to some of the world's most awe-inspiring animals and landscapes. Conservation efforts are making a real difference, from protecting endangered species to preserving vital habitats. As long as people continue to care about this incredible region and work to protect it, Southern Africa will remain a shining example of resilience and strength, where life, in all its diversity, continues to thrive against all odds.